In this video, let's explore one of the tools in Microsoft 365 ecosystem mostly used by developers named as Graph Explorer. Graph Explorer is a web-based UI tool designed to interact with and inspect connected data. This is a tool used by devs to test and view Graph API calls for Microsoft 365 and Azure service. One of the examples would be like there are many connectors that are available within Power Automate to connect to various Microsoft 365 services like SharePoint, OneDrive, Planner, Azure services like Entra ID to extract users, extract groups within your tenant. However, if the connectors are not sufficient, if the connector does not provide the capabilities which you require in programming uh, application, then you can use Graph Explorer as a part of the HTTP service request. There are two versions currently, v1.0 and beta. v1.0 is a stable version which you can use for your production-based apps. If you wanted to perform any research or see the upcoming uh, support for various services, use the beta version. Now there are various capabilities which are provided by the Graph Explorer like agents, applications, batching, compliance, Edge, OneNote, OneDrive, people, Planner, user activities, SharePoint, sites, pages and list, search, security, Weaver goals, Windows Update, Outlook, Mail, Outlook Calendar, personal contacts, Planner. All these services can be uh, uh, used within the Graph Explorer. So Graph Explorer will provide you a foundation for you to perform those research before you use the service within your application. Let's explore Graph Explorer over here. This is the Graph Explorer screen which you see over here. Now there is an alternate way to navigate to Graph Explorer. You can just type in ak.ms/ge, which is Graph Explorer, and then you will be landing at the Graph Explorer page. So this is the application. As you see over here on the left hand side, this is the control pane. This is where you put in the request, and this is where you get the response back. On the left hand side, you can expand and collapse. You see sample queries, API Explorer, and you can see all the commands which you have executed. Under sample queries, we have getting started, agents, all this categorized information. Under agents, we can list the identity blueprint, get the agent identity, list ID users. Now applications, I can extract all the applications that exist within my tenants. I can create a new application, delete an application, retrieve an owner, create an owner, search and count the service principal. I can perform an operation on Excel. As you see over here, I can add a new worksheet, I can create a session, I can perform an operation on the groups, group conversation, delete group, add member, create a new group, etc. I can perform operations on identity and access. I can perform an operation on Outlook calendar. All this request exists within this Graph Explorer. Now, on the middle screen over here, you specify the method get, post, put, patch, and delete. You specify the Graph API version 1.0 beta. You get the URL automatically over here if you select on the left hand side. So if I select over here, as you see, this URL changes, right? So that means you need not even remember the URL. All these things are given for you. If you select a post related request over here, say post create session, add a new worksheet, etc. Here you will be also presented with the request body, which I'm going to show you in a while. Now you just click on run a query. Now over here, if you see all this documentation, so if you click over here, direct members of a group with count. If you want to know more documentation, so you click on read over here. You can see all the permissions required, HTTP request, request header, body, etc. Right? So you get to see all the syntax. You can also see the corresponding code component over here within the documentation. As you see over here, like if I go into getting started my profile, if I click on run query, it will give me an output of this query. So we have raised a get request, and now it has given me my name is Alex Wilbur. However, my name is not Alex Wilbur because it has picked it from a sample tenant. Now we have an option to change the theme, get a sandbox with sample data, or maybe just sign in. So I'm just signing using my application, like my ID, and now it will ask me for the consent, and now I have logged in. Now if I click on run, it will give me my proper details. Now If I don't want all this information, if I just want the given name and the job title, I can put a question mark, select equal to, and then I will go ahead and select whatever columns I want. So maybe I want a job title, maybe I want a given name. So I can start typing. If the intelligence will give me the value, click on run query, and then I got this output. I can see adaptive cards, I can see tool component, I can see the code snippets, I can see the response headers and the response preview. I can see code in various programming languages, C Sharp, Pro, Java, JavaScript, PHP, PowerShell, and Python. If I want to see what photo I have uploaded, I click on my photo, click on run queries, go to response preview, and I can see the image over here. Remember, forget there is no request body required. However, if I want to maybe create a team, okay, so if I search for team, I can see Microsoft Teams beta and Microsoft Teams. So I can perform various operations on the team like creating a channel, creating a team, creating a chat. So let me go ahead and create a team. So if you click on create a team, here you will see the template, the request body. So this is the template which is required to create a team. Now I want to create a team which I will call this as IT specialist team. IT specialist team. The team for specialist. Maybe that's just a title and a description which I type in. Now, if I go to teams over here, as you see, I have four teams. I don't have an IT specialist team listed over here. If I go in this, I have an option to modify the permissions because for that you would require a permission to create a team. So team.create. Now I've already consented. I have already given the permission, and that's why it is not asking me to request for permission. However, if you want to give a permission, in your case, you may have to click on consent. Now I don't want to read and write the directory. I want to just create a team, and that's why it has given me team.create. I can go ahead and reload the consent over here. Everything all set. Click on run query. And now this team will get created in the backend. Now once it is created, it will show in accepted as a message, so accepted 202. If you go to the team now, you will see IT specialist team. Now you can also create a channel. Now over here, what I'll do, I'll go ahead and add a member. So I will add B as a member, and I'll add Alex as a member. So I've added two team members over here. Now over here, I can go ahead and perform various operations like members of a team. I'll just click on members of a team, and I'll just click on run query. Now what the problem is, it is asking me for the team ID. So I need to specify the team ID. So how do you get the team ID? You go into the team, ID specialist team, go over here and get the link. So once you get the link, here in the link, you will see the group ID. So if you see this group ID, I'll just copy this group ID and I will pass it on to the query. Make sure that you properly align those GUID. Click on run query, and then here you will see the members. Now there are two members of the team. One is Lee, one is Girish, and you have Alex as well. So there are three members, right? Now you can go ahead and create a channel. So I'll just go ahead and create a channel. Now again, it will ask you which team you want to create a channel in. So I'll just say the same thing which I've just created. I can create channels. I can see all channels. I can see incoming channels. Now what is the name of the channel I want? I'll just call this as 404 channel. This channel is of no use. And I'll just click on run query, and then this particular channel will get created within that particular team. So it is created now. Now if you go in your teams under IT specialist, I'm not sure which, yeah, I think I have created it under IT specialist. So let me refresh this. And if I click on see all channels, you will see 404 channel which I just created. So this is how you can perform various operations. Now I've just shown you an example of Microsoft Teams, but you can perform the same operations on SharePoint, Planner, To Do, Mail. All these things can be created from uh, this particular Graph Explorer. Now if you want to query a users, you can just go ahead and search for users. So list agent ID users, you can see, you can count the users in your tenant, you can get the directory reports, all users in the org, all guest users, get your skills. So all these operations can be performed using the Graph Explorer. Now, how do we use all these things? Okay, Graph Explorer is fine, but if I want to use in real application, so take for example, if I go to sample queries over here, let me remove the search. And now I want to search, say, maybe I want to get my users or total users within the system. How do I use it? So I'll use Power Automate Flow. Within Power Automate Flow over here, if I click on an action, I get to see HTTP. Now in HTTP, I can choose a REST API to invoke. Now in HTTP, as you see over here, I will specify the URI, which I have just uh, utilized over here, right? So let me close this and maybe I'll just come, yeah. So if you see this URI, I am putting the URI over here. Method is get, okay, method is get. And then I need to specify the authentication. Now I can specify authentication using Active Directory or auth, none, basic client certificate, raw, and managed identity. Now I need to create an application registration within Azure. Now how do we create an app registration within Azure? So you go over here, Microsoft Entra ID, app registration, click on new registration, and then you register an application. Now I've already registered an application, so I'll show you that. So if you go to app registration, I have created an app registration which is Graph July. So if you don't find your own application, search for all application, and here you will see Graph Demo July. This app registration, you copy the client ID, you copy the tenant ID, client ID. Audience, graph.microsoft.com, that's hard coded over here, and the credential type and secret. Now, credential type secret. For an app registration, you can create a secret using certificates and secret, and you can copy the value of that secret. With regards to permission, now remember in Graph Explorer, when we queried something, we went over here and we modified the permissions, right? So to take for example, while creating a team, we need to have, so if I go over here, create a team, as you see over here, while creating a team, you need to have the permission teams.create, directory.read, write all. In order to do this, we are simulating this over here, but in a real world example, you need to specify the permission. So if I go API permission, I go over here, add a permission, select Microsoft Graph. I can select delegated permissions or application permission, depending on whether the application needs to access the API as a signed in user or as a background service. You select and you specify whatever permissions you want from here just by selecting the checkbox and click on add permission. And this is how you can utilize this within the application. Now this is one example for get. If I want to list an agent identity, this is the URL. I'm using the beta version over here, and again I'm using the same app registration, so you can use the same app registration. What you need to do is, like, you need to specify additional permission. Now as you see over here, instead of just creating a team or reading through the Active Directory, I have specified other permission, agent read all, blueprint read all. I have granted this. I have clicked on grant admin consent for this particular tenant, and I'm able to perform this operation using the Graph API by using HTTP action within Power Automate. So that's it, folks. This is how basically you can use Graph Explorer for your Power Platform based uh, services. You can query Microsoft 365 services. If you want to get to know the list, you can go over here, click on API Explorer, and here you will see all the category. You can query Copilot, data policy, operations, directory, devices, domains, functions, groups, identity, organization, planner, report, solutions, teams, team template, and there's a whole bunch of things. So get well versed with all these things so that you exactly know that these are the services which you can utilize. Now Power Automate connector is all good. Like if you click on over here, you can select various connectors. Like say, take for example, Teams. Now, if I click on Teams over here, I should be able to perform various operations on the Teams, right? So as you see over here, there's a whole plethora of actions which you can perform. However, there might be some action which may not be available over here, which you can only perform using the Graph Explorer. So if that is the case, use HTTP connector, use an app registration, and then perform those operations using the HTTP request. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching.